Hi. It's been a while. It's been about 6 months. And there's been a number of things going on with family and just kind of rethinking what am I doing on YouTube and what's my voice? What am I trying to say in the midst of all this noise that pundits are making on YouTube? And how am I any different than anybody else? I greatly enjoy many, many channels, and a lot of channels have inspired me, and there are previous videos that I've done that speak to individuals who've encouraged me. Some have ended up disappointing me, but I still have this feeling that there are people out there who, at least 200 of you, who are interested in what I have to say. And that is cool for me. And I think a lot of people are trying to kind of understand why we love this hobby, what it is that attracts us, but then we get stalled in a lot of ways with maybe being overwhelmed with the amount of information that's hitting us. And so I hope to be kind of more of a quieter, more thoughtful voice in the midst of everyone trying to compete to get a little slice of the advertising pie. Sure, it would be nice to get some upgraded equipment and stuff like that, but honestly, what I'm doing at the moment is fine. So I'm not aiming to kind of grow the channel as much as speak to you who are interested. And recently, there's been about 4 or 5 new subscribers, and thank you. For somebody who's been quiet for 6 months, that's, again, pretty cool. So I wanted to speak first about a channel that I've been watching for 2, 3 years now. I am a Facebook friend with Pete, who runs Garblag Games, and I became a Facebook friend basically because of the channel, and just appreciated what he had to offer. And I guess the channel was in its infancy and it was just kind of growing, and I was really compelled. And what it did for me was it helped me expand my very 5th edition thoughts at that time to looking at what Modifius was doing and what Free League was doing. And at the time, 3, 4 years ago, I was very much interested in watching people play and how people were playing differently than the way I was at the table with my friends. And was there a world out there that was different than just playing 5th edition and being essentially superheroes? And so Garblag Games gave me something to kind of chew on and to think about. So, poof, there we go. Garblag Games. This is their YouTube channel. It's their site page. And you know, Pete does DMing, Ben does DMing, Millie does DMing, and you know, you get to know people like Roger and Lawrence and Simon and Sam and so many others who come in and out. And I know that there's a lot of cast members that they've had. They're in a relatively small community north of London. I believe that there's no secret that they're in St. Albans. And it's just wonderful that they're able to continue during COVID times online doing what I think is absolutely fantastic work. And I don't have enough time to watch as regularly as I used to, but I do catch episodes and I do go to them to kind of learn how to play games through watching them play. And even though they don't do, say, reviews as much, at least not from what I've found, but actual plays, that's really been the way that I like to learn, is watch some people play. and then try to cater it to what I hope to do. And often what's the case is there's a lot of hope that I have in playing, but not as much time. And because of a number of factors, I haven't really played a lot. Now, in the summer, I did do a lot with Deathbringer, which is in its beta stage, a dungeon. Professor Dungeon Master has done this for his Patreons, and so I did some of that with a group of middle school and one high school student. So we did that in the summer before COVID kind of went nuts here in our province. And I'm in Canada. And so it was kind of crazy. And then we had to shut things down. And my hope to return to the school and do the after school program didn't pan out. And so I've been kind of looking at things to do. And I do go to Garblag Games and try to figure out things. Now, full disclosure, I am a friend of Pete's on Facebook. Nobody else from Garblag Games, but hey, if you're from Garblag and you're watching this and you want to friend me on Facebook and see what this crazy guy does in his real life, sure. But I backed Pete's kind of role-playing offer to the community. And I said to him, hey, I backed you. I didn't buy the hard copy at the time, and now I'm regretting it. How can I buy one? And he said, I'll send you a review copy. And I've got that review copy, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's a great product. Nice little back, nice little Dungeon Master screen, and it's an absolute great book. Now, my hope is that I will do a proper review. I have notes, probably up to about Powers, I think. I've got notes up to Powers, but this is not a review of the content yet, but I am going to get to that. I don't do reviews, but I feel that he spent something like £5 or £6 sending it over to me, which is a significant amount. And so I want to honor that and at least do kind of a short review to just give thanks and also praise for what I think is a very compelling system that neglects the wonderful D12. God bless the D12. Those bastard sword users shouldn't have all the glory. So that's Garblag Games and basically kind of the emphasis of this first part of the video. And we'll move on to something a little bit different. Please go watch them. And if you like what they're doing, like it, subscribe, a bell and all that stuff. They're almost at 4,000 viewers. And I think that you should give them a look if you're interested in that type of content. Ooh, look at all the fancy stuff I'm doing. Yes, a channel rethink. Well, as I said, I'm trying to figure out my voice in the midst of this crowd. There are people that I really admire and I go to. Professor Dungeon Master has been greatly inspiring in terms of OSR stuff, and I valued what he's contributing to the community, and also, see, my almost 57-year-old brain is clicking out now. What's his name? The Die Guy. Anyway, there's a guy who does a show, and I like it, but I can't remember. Let me click open this stupid thing. See, I'm not even going to edit this crap, so let me just go down, and I've got a mouse somewhere here. Let me go up and look at YouTube and figure out. I'm going to figure it out before I actually go to YouTube, and I'm going to be screaming at myself. What's the damn name of his channel? Isn't this fun? This is why you subscribe, because you probably go brain dead too. This is hilarious. Me, myself, and die. Anyway, me, myself, and die. Buddy over there, whose name escapes me as well. He's an actor. He's vivacious. Anyway, he also has impacted me so much that I remember his name off the top of my head. He does some great stuff with solo gameplay, and then there's Geek Gamers. She is wonderful. She has a crochet needle. You never see her. You just see her hands. It's awesome. And these are people that I really admire. And when I'm watching some other people and I hear them talking about games, it's kind of discouraging, because there's always this polemic. There's always this kind of, this is the best system. And let's face it, we just love systems. If you're watching me, and you've gotten this far in the video, it's because you love different systems and they're exciting to you, and maybe you'll never ever play them, but you're interested. And I want to share my excitement, even though I'm not playing as much. I'm interested in what's going on with the games that are on offer. Anywhere from what Ben Milton is doing with Knave, and with encouraging me to look at, 10,000 Islands, and that offering. I mean, just an amazing variety of zines that I never would have heard of. Like, this just brings me back. And so I'm happy to look at those type of things. So what's exciting me at the moment, and what's this channel update stuff? Well, I'll get to the big news in a second, but I was a playtester for this. I thought it sucked. I told them that I thought it sucked. It wasn't the double D20 system. It's just that I thought that there was some issues that they needed to kind of address. I'm not too sure if they have addressed them, but after watching the movie, I gave in and I bought it. So I'm excited to kind of look through this, but at the moment I haven't been doing as much with that. I'm kind of torn as to what to show you next. Tarot. Interesting. This is called Tarot de Marseille, and it's the new incarnation. Now, I got really excited a few years ago when another guy, who I can't remember off the top of my head, he's got 100 episodes on being a dungeon master, and focuses on D&D. The guy who looks like a werewolf. You know the guy. Anyway, he had put out Matt Koval. He put out a kind of video on using tarot for playing, and I thought, oh, what a great idea. And I've always been interested in kind of the symbology and stuff like that. Not the divination, but the symbolism. This is Tarot de Marseille. It's the card stock is great, but instead of pips, it's images, and they're all like parables. And I really got excited. I think it was about $100 Canadian with shipping included. The smell of it is absolutely intoxicating. Beautiful set, absolutely gorgeous. And it just kind of, gets your mind going, and very simple colors, very traditional. I think it dates back to 1609, the major arcana, and then the minor are done in the same style by a Russian artist. So really, really like that, and I plan on trying to incorporate it somehow into my gameplay. Yeah, I'm going to be playing with my wife, something that just recently over Christmas I got, and I didn't just get it, I went whole hog. So, Forbidden Lands. Forbidden Lands. Forbidden Lands. Forbidden Lands. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to play this. Got the cards. You saw me with the D20. I got the dice. It looks really compelling. And what got me even more excited about this was Foundry Virtual Tabletop. And I looked at a couple of videos and I got it right away. I've got it up and running now, and my wife and I hope to play this afternoon. Now, I haven't lost my love of Ironsworn or the upcoming Starforge. I think Starforge is going to just knock it out of the park, and it's going to bring solo gaming and that whole experience of being GMless to a new level. My wife and I are going to use the Game Master emulator and try to use that with the tables that are on Foundry. Free League has just given everything there. Yeah, there's an initial startup. I think it probably was about $100 Canadian for everything. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. So that's kind of a personal thing that I'm going to be doing. Now, the last is kind of that announcement thing. So thinking about this voice and what am I saying and what am I doing and why am I here and why have I spent 16 minutes talking? Well, if you've watched me in the past, this isn't really a big reveal. And I want to kind of caveat this by saying I'm married. I have 4 adult children. I have a couple of grandkids, and I don't want to turn anyone off. And I say that because in real life, this is me. I've said it before. I'm a priest. I'm a real life priest. I've been a priest for almost 21 years. I've served in the north of Quebec and all over the place in New Brunswick, from the center, the French fry capital of the world, to Moncton, and now to where I'm living at the moment in a Canadian National Historic Site. So me with my wonderful vampire cloak on. That's actually a real cloak that you wear at funerals or any type of memorial. That is Remembrance Day a few years ago before COVID hit, just before COVID hit. And I remember that it was a cold day. But yeah, I'm a priest. Oh, look at that. It goes, yeah, no, the channel goes, sorry about that. Essentially, I want to be able to speak about theological issues that I find in gaming as well. Now, I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to kind of convert anybody. You have ideas and thoughts about spirituality that are yours, and they're on your level. And some people have been very deeply hurt by the church. And I can't really apologize for something that someone else has done. In my ministry, I try to be all things to all people, and I try to listen, and it's not my job to judge at all. I enjoy everyone's company, and I'm not here to make a big deal about it. But at the same time, if I'm not honest about who I am and try to use some of those symbols and theological ideas and stuff that I have about gaming in terms of gameplay and table dynamics and stuff like that, then I'm kind of denying part of myself that's actually there. Professor Dungeon Master speaks a lot about his teaching and what he does in drama and how he employs that in even his art, and the way that he's done a circular kind of tabletop with different zones to look more like a stage than like a big bunch of hexes all or squared off 5 foot ranges. I mean, it's just dumb of me to kind of pretend, well, I'm not a priest, or I am a priest, and then ignore it and stuff. So I hope to kind of employ some of that. Now, I hope I don't turn anybody off. That's not my hope. But if it is jarring, I don't want you to be surprised that I may mention some stuff. In no way am I trying to say this is better than that, or my way of looking at things is better than this way of looking at things. I mean, I'm very serious about the fact that I love this, but I'm a very weird priest, and I'm atypical for a lot of Anglican priests. But I think that it's important for me to talk to you about the way I see gaming, and some of the vitriol that's out there, and the anger and the frustrations, and we kind of stop being kind and thoughtful. And no matter if you're a Buddhist, or if you're a Wicca, or if you're Hindu, or if you're a complete and total atheist, or an agnostic, or whatever, or a Southern Baptist, whatever your take is, I think everybody is hoping for a positive, good experience either around the gaming table or in your interactions online when you join a group, if you're willing to join a group. Because there's a certain amount of fear, and this is why we have these safety rules and safety nets, is because there's been a lot of abuse online. We see it all the time. So I may from time to time do that. And I've preached actually 2 sermons so far that talk about D&D. And so what I may do is I may, not too long from now, if I get the energy, I may just edit out part of my sermon that talks about Dungeons and Dragons in my sermon, which is a real live sermon that I actually gave to my parishioners, talking about its benefits and talking about the connections between some faith issues and issues of playing the game. One of them was the fact that I brought a whole stack of rules for D&D, and I said to everybody in my congregation, I said, that's kind of how we feel about the Bible, is that it's massive and it's like this big, so we get overwhelmed or we start being rule mongers. And I guess the OSR kick has got me far away from being a rule monger and remembering that it should be as simple as going on a piece of paper. And so I showed them I think it was Deathbringer, one-page Deathbringer rules. I said, look, see, all of the D&D rules are basically here, And I think it was having the faith of a mustard seed was the sermon that I was preaching. So, have a laugh. I hope you enjoy the content that I hope to be bringing back to the channel. For those recent subscribers, I hope you're not scared. If you're a Garblagger, welcome, and I really genuinely do love the channel. I think that there's great stuff. For Travis at I'm gonna forget it again. Me, Myself, and Die. He's got some great stuff. He's just started a new campaign. Go and watch it. I think it's every Mondays, 4 o'clock Eastern, I think it comes on. And he does solo play in what I think is a very compelling way. And if you you're looking for some different ideas and different materials, start looking at places like Free League. The games that I've discovered, things like Coriolis and Vaesen, the whole Mutant Year Zero engine, which, Forbidden Lands is based on. There's so many exciting things. Garblag Games got me into Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. Through Flint and Steel, and it broadened my scope, and I'm hoping that you allow yourself to challenge D&D 5th and the marketing machine that it is, and try to give some smaller producers and different ideas. Don't just think OSR is an old fogey, your granddad's shit. There's a lot to be said about playing a game where you're afraid. And it doesn't have to be Vampire the Masquerade or the other one. See, I really do have old man syndrome. I was going to say cyberpunk, but it's not cyberpunk. Yeah, Cthulhu. Okay, it doesn't have to be Cthulhu or any of those type of things where you feel that fear. You should play a game, and it should be a challenge. And hopefully the DM makes it challenging. And if you're playing solo or you're playing as a couple, like my wife and I will be playing, it should be a challenge. And, you know, I watch a lot of anime before I go. I watch a lot of anime. I subscribe to Funimation. I know, I'm really not your typical priest. This was a Christmas gift from my kids to me because I love Cowboy Bebop, and I'm just watching. I'm halfway through the end of Demon Slayer. So my wife and I have been watching Demon Slayer and all sorts of fun stuff. So when I'm playing, instead of viewing Tolkien-esque stuff now, I'm kind of thinking more along the anime lines of Demon Slayer and what was the other one? Was it Ghost Hunter? There was Demon Slayer, and there's another one that I, again, like my brain works, I forget. But I just wanted to get something out and say to you, hey, enjoy the hobby. I want you to be encouraged to go out beyond. So if anything, my channel is to try to challenge those 5th edition people and maybe even OSR people to go beyond just thinking, you know, the OSR stuff and start broadening the horizons to kind of include different options. And if you're like me and you're just a lover of systems and you love digesting what people are creating, well, I hope to offer you something that's thoughtful and encouraging, and I want to stop the slagging. 5th edition is a good edition. If you like the superhero stuff, go for it. You know, I'm just in this phase where I'm trying to move away from the constant corporate noise, where you have to buy everything and you just can't live without this next product. And soon we're going to be on the 50th anniversary, and so there's going to be a flooding of the market. And then 5.5. 5.5. Sorry, I'm not supposed to slag anything, but 5.5, do 6 or do 50th or something like that. But we're not going to stop the corporate market. So let's just enjoy it. But let's just enjoy the hobby. And that's what I'm here to say. So I hope I haven't frightened you off by my collar that was somewhere there. Here. Ooh, scary stuff. And maybe you'll find the channel to be interesting, or at least maybe it won't take me 6 months to put something else up. Take care, have fun, and keep on playing. Bye.